Coming up on UT10 News, the race is heating up between the Toledo mayoral candidates.
And how a new UT grant is helping students during emergencies.
Plus, Jed Schilling takes us to the Glass Bowl as the Rockets fought to maintain their winning streak in MAC play as they hosted the Akron Zips. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Humphrey.
And I'm Kenny Cruz.
2 weeks from today, Toledo voters will head to the polls to decide who will serve as mayor for the next 2 years.
I met with both candidates to discuss their plans should they be elected. The race is heating up between Democratic mayoral candidates Paula Higgs Hudson and Wade Kapsakevich with the impending general election. Last Wednesday, they attended a mayoral forum in Point Place to inform Toledoans about their plans for the city.
Clearly, I want to make sure that the water is safe to drink every day, that we continue to fix our residential streets, and that we work on the question of safety and also job development and creation.
Toledo's never going to be the city we all know it can be if it can't fix its roads, fill its potholes, keep its water from turning green, keep its neighborhoods safe, or balance its budget.
After the September primary, the Lucas County Board of Elections reported Higgs Hudson received 39% of the vote, while Kapsakevich received 34%. Toledoans will be voting for their next mayor on Tuesday, November 7th. Ohio poll hours are from 6:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night. There's an effort underway in Columbus to reduce the penalty imposed on concealed carry permit holders.
UT10's Joshua Blount reports what impact this would have during traffic stops.
Citizens are required to go through an 8-hour class to obtain a concealed carry permit and have rules to follow when they reserve that privilege. They must notify officers they are carrying when pulled over.
It's always nice for the officer that's engaged in a traffic stop or engaged someone if that person indicates that, just to let you know, I have a CCW permit and I do have a weapon on me and here's where it's at.
The current penalty for not disclosing your concealed gun is a first-degree misdemeanor. The new proposal will reduce that to a $25 fine. Drake Smith owns Smith Tactical Firearms Training in Norwalk. He says he has some reservations about the proposed penalty decrease.
The last thing is that they need is law-abiding citizens who are carrying a gun and are supposed to be telling them, thinking that all they're going to get for not telling them that they have a firearm on them is a $25 fine.
The penalty for concealed carry permit holders will stay in effect until further notice, and there is no definite answer for a change at the moment. I'm Joshua Blount for UT10 News.
Thanks, Joshua. And according to the Ohio Attorney General, nearly 6,000 cases of domestic violence were reported in Lucas County last year, 5,000 of them in Toledo. To raise awareness, UT's Sexual Assault Education and Prevention programs hosted the Silent Witness Project last Thursday. 20 life-size silhouettes were on display in the Student Union, representing victims from Northwest Ohio who lost their lives.
They should be remembered, and they are important, and this topic is important, and the conversation is important to continue to have.
4 of the silhouettes displayed represent former UT students. And local outreach efforts continue to benefit those impacted by the ongoing opioid epidemic. Toledo's Team Recovery hosted Heals for Healing on Friday to raise money for recovering addicts in need. Several men from the Toledo area donned high heels and walked around Levis Commons in Perrysburg to help raise money and awareness. The funds will go directly to local resources for those in recovery.
We're just trying to get the word out there about the addiction problems and that there's a lot of help now.
The event raised more than $3,800, and organizers hope to raise much more in the future. And a campus organization is continuing to reach out to those in need of a meal.
UT's Food Recovery collects leftover food from our own dining halls along with local restaurants to donate to shelters in the area. UT10's Emily Lorton has a look at its ongoing efforts.
This organization is putting forth their best effort to make sure no one goes without a meal. Food Recovery visits Panera, Monet's, South Dining, and they even collect from UT's tailgates.
One of our highest recoveries that we actually ever had was over 600 pounds just from South Dining that we donated.
They take the recovered food to shelters such as St. Paul's, Cherry Street Mission, and Family House.
The donations that are brought into St. Paul's, they help make the most of all the funding that we get because it is expensive to feed 35 residents quality food.
Jemerson says they are working one step at a time to feed the Toledo community, but are looking to branch out even further.
To find out how you can get involved, visit our website. I'm Emily Lorton for UT10 News.
If you're a UT student experiencing a financial emergency, there's a program available to help relieve some of that stress. The Rocket Recovery Emergency Grant is aimed at assisting undergraduates whose education is in jeopardy due to financial hardships. This one-time grant can provide up to $1,000 in funds that may be used to cover basic amenities such as rent, gas, or groceries.
Many times students who are in this situation don't need, a huge sum of money, but just a smaller sum to get them through an emergency situation.
For more information or to apply, visit UT10news.com. According to Autism Speaks, Alpha Zeta Delta, a national sorority, has raised more than $5 million for the cause. This past Sunday, UT's Alpha Zeta Delta hosted the Amazing Race on the main campus. There were a total of 6 teams competing, all of which paid $25 to support the effort.
People form teams of 5 and compete in little crazy challenges around campus, and it just basically supports Autism Speaks and spreads awareness for autism.
Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity's team finished in first place.
I'm Jed Schilling, and this is your UT10 Sports Report. It was a warm yet busy weekend for the Rockets as the Toledo football team took on the Akron Zips in a very exciting game. But first, the women's volleyball team hosted Miami on Friday night as they were looking to extend their 3-game winning streak. Toledo started off strong as they scored the first 2 points of the game, but the Miami Redhawks quickly turned things around as they gained the lead and took the first set. They carried their strong effort over as the second set started and dominated the game. Yet, senior Annie Beasley fought hard with a kill to turn the game around. With that momentum boost, it helped them take the lead as they entered the third set. Both teams rallied back and forth in the final set, but Toledo was unable to avoid the sweep. As we head into the Glass Bowl, Rocket alum Kareem Hunt is honored as one of the top players in Toledo football history, as our football team hosted the Akron Zips. Hunt signed autographs and took pictures with fans as the Rockets started strong in the first half with 4 touchdowns, 2 of those by wide receivers Desmond Phillips and Danzel McKinley-Lewis, from passes by senior quarterback Logan Woodside. Akron had a hard-fought battle on defense, intercepting Woodside in the first half. The Rockets continued to be a dominating force on offense as the second half started. Sophomore Deontay Johnson continued his stellar game as he caught his second touchdown pass of the afternoon. Akron tried to rally back from a 17-point halftime deficit, but was unable to do so. Redshirt freshman Shaquille Seymour scored on a 15-yard run to seal the victory and moved to 3-0 in conference play. Head coach Jason Candle talked about how his team has improved in all facets of the game.
I thought our guys did a really good job, and we won a turnover battle. We were good on third down, scored in the red zone. All the situational things that we harp on all week long, I thought we were rock solid today.
The Rockets' next game will be Thursday on the road in Muncie, Indiana against Ball State. Back to volleyball, the Rockets had plans of avenging their loss from Friday night's game as they hosted the Bowling Green Falcons on Saturday night. The women kept pace with their MAC rival early with some aggressive kills. Both Annie Beasley and Sage Thomas came out of the gate swinging and were the leaders behind Toledo's offensive attack. Bowling Green, however, would answer back and take the first 2 sets with some outstanding kills. The Rockets rallied back to take their third set after falling short in the previous 2 sets. The BG offense exploded in the final set, and the Rockets weren't able to make the comeback as they lose in 4 games. Head coach Greg Smith expresses his thoughts about this weekend's matchups.
We took a huge step back both yesterday and today, so I don't know that we learned anything other than that we got to be better.
The women's next game will be this Friday at home against Eastern Michigan.
Thanks, Jen. It's quite amazing that our football team is performing this wonderful and is staying undefeated in the MAC play.
Right, and I think they've really been able to rally around that Cody Thompson injury, and they're looking to roll continuing into Ball State this Thursday.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for UT10 News. For the latest breaking news from campus and bios from all UT10 reporters, go to our website at ut10news.com.
And remember, you can watch the live stream of our newscast production every Tuesday at noon on our YouTube channel. For Kenny Cruz, Jed Schilling, and all of our crew, I'm Madison Humphrey. Have a great week and stay tuned for more news from the UT campus.